Hello, my friends, and welcome to the latest spin. I'm Mike Spinner, Student Athlete World USA, and a happy Thursday to everyone. And right now, there is one heck of a Thursday night football game going on. Bills Dolphins, a game that I did not anticipate would be entertaining as of halftime, and it's been great. And so I'm meeting with you right now, and hopefully gonna get back to watching and enjoying that game before the second half begins because it's a good one. And hopefully it stays that way. Because if you're a big NFL fan like I am, you know, Thursday night football, because you're talking about teams playing on 4 days of rest, those games tend to kind of stink. I've always wondered why the NFL doesn't stage manage things so that the Thursday night game every week is between two teams coming off a bye. So they'd have like a week and a half off. I don't get it. But in this case, it's a really good game. If you're watching me now and you want to stay up late, like I'm about to, and enjoy a great football game, at least as of the first half, as of halftime, this Bills Dolphins game is a real good one. And student athlete world business and applications are rolling in. It's a really exciting time of year for us as we really start to build out towards the summer of 2026. So I don't have an announcement to make, but what I could tell you is, and you're about to get more information than even Tim has, but based on a conversation I had about 90 minutes ago, we are at like the 1 yard line to announce not just a new tour, but a new sport. And it's really exciting. It's not like a new sport that we're inventing. You know, it's not going to be like ultimate golf or something crazy, but just a sport that I'm not sure we've ever sponsored. We certainly haven't done so during my time with Student Athlete World. But had a great conversation with someone who's going to serve not just as a coach for us, but like a sport director about 90 minutes ago. And I think we're at the 1 yard line. I think we're really close to an announcement here. It's a big one. It's a good one I'm really excited about. So I'm just teasing you like crazy tonight because we're not quite there yet. But hopefully, I'm thinking by the next time you see this face, um, we will have that announcement queued up and ready to go. And I'm certainly excited. But one thing I do want to talk about this week that's more concrete is so we're getting to that point of the year when a lot of questions come in about our tours, about our policies, things like that. And there's a question I've gotten a lot just the last like 5 or 6 days alone that I'm going to answer in one broad stroke for you. And I get it every year, and I've probably covered it honestly during this show before. So I'm going to cover it again, and I'm happy to just because we have a lot of new watchers and new followers and new families. So the question I've been getting a lot of recently is, can parents, siblings, extended family travel on our tours? And I got that question 3 times today, either by text or by email. So I want to make this point really clear. What makes our experience even more special than simply traveling the world and playing your sport is the opportunity to do it as a family. All right. I've seen it with my own family, watching my own son play ice hockey at the United World Games last year. So if you're a parent watching this, or if you're an athlete watching this and you're wondering if your parents should go, I'm going to ask you a question. Why wouldn't you want to go? Okay. So, like, if you are a basketball player and your team made the championship game, whatever level you're playing, you'd want your parents there, right? Of course you would. All right. So, if that's the case, then if you're a basketball player or any other athlete from any other sport, and you're representing our country and you're wearing a USA jersey, wouldn't you want your parents there? And if you're a parent and you're that parent, you're at every game and a lot of practices and you're super involved with your kids like I am with mine, and your child is representing the United States in an international event, why wouldn't you want to be there? So the short answer is yes. Not only can parents and siblings and extended family go, we encourage it, we invite it, we want it. And the proof is in the pudding. When you go to studentathleteworld.com and you click on tours and you look at an individual tour, for each tour, there's a sample itinerary. If you are not the athlete in the family, if you're a parent or if you're a sibling or extended family, when you read through the sample itinerary, keep one thing in mind. When you look at all the awesome things that we do, the excursions, the meals, the hotels, all the great things that we do on our tours, remember this. The only difference between you as a relative and the athlete in your family who is competing, the only difference between you and them, they will play their sport and you will not. Otherwise, when we build our tours, we build it for whoever is going. So, United World Games Tour, I did it last year. We go Venice, Italy, and Vienna, Austria, and some amazing places. That's not just for the athletes, it's for everyone who comes. Spain, Portugal, zip line experience. You get on the zip line in Spain, you zip into Portugal, you change time zones while you're on the zip line. The only experience of its kind on the planet where you get to do that. It's not just the athletes who do it, it's anyone on the tour gets to do it, and so on and so forth for all of our tours. So when you ask the question, can parents go? Can extended family go? The answer is yes with 30 exclamation points. Okay. And I've seen it with my own family, and I've seen it with a million families on our tours. You don't want to miss this. You want that family time. And for that athlete right now who is watching this and saying, well, maybe I just want to do this on my own, understand on every one of our tours, the same dynamic happens. At some point, the athletes go off with the athletes and hang out. The adults go with the adults and hang out. And that's how you make new friends. So if you're an athlete, you're like, well, I might want to do this by myself. Every kid wants their relatives there to watch them play. So don't hold your family kind of at bay and say, well, I want to do this on my own. Say, come. But there are going to be times I'm going to go off with my teammates and you're going to go off with the other adults, and that's perfectly fine. It happens on every tour. So I hope that answers your question, because I had the personal experience as a parent of seeing my own son play ice hockey on our first ever ice hockey tour at the United World Games back in June. And honestly, he scored the first goal in United States history, not just Student Athlete World USA history. In the United World Games, there's never been an American ice hockey player who scored a goal before. And the first one was my own child. And it was pretty cool. Like, it's not just because I work for the company. It was just one of those things that I'll never forget. And I'll tell you, even if I got the professional level video from that, I would have like kicked myself for missing it. Like, I was so happy to have been there and see him do it and just see him wear that USA jersey. And it's something I'll never forget. And I'm the parent, I take my son to every practice. I'm at the rink all the time. I just got back from the rink. I'm at every practice and every game, but I would have not been happy with myself if I'd missed this. So if you're a family and you're thinking about traveling with us, no matter what the tour, no matter what the sport, if you're debating whether or not to make this a family experience, take it from a parent of an athlete, myself. You don't want to miss this, ever. If you can get the whole family there, do it. You will thank me. You're going to email me, call me, text me. Mike, thank you for pushing the whole family to go. This was not just the coolest thing I've ever done as an athlete, but it was the coolest thing we've ever done as a family. So hopefully that answers that question. Of course, you can always contact me if you want to discuss this more. But family experience, oh yes, it's a family experience. You don't want to miss it. And now, what in the world? What in the world this week is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't even know like where Raising Cane is centered, to be honest. What I could tell you is they're opening 10 minutes from me, Milford, Connecticut. Now, if you've seen this gradually decrease over the 4 years I've done this video, I'm now over 80 pounds I've lost since February of 2024 and steamrolling towards even more. The biggest threat to that during this time of weight loss is going to be the opening of Raising Cane 10 minutes from where I live. All right. If you've never eaten Raising Cane before, think about the juiciest, most fresh chicken tender you can ever have with a sauce. Honestly, is give me a straw and give me the sauce. Don't worry about the chicken sometimes. All right. It is unbelievable chicken, and they're expanding. And it just so happens that they're opening 10 minutes from my home. If you live in Connecticut, they're opening in Milford on Boston Post Road, right near the Milford Mall. And they're opening in just a few weeks. I'm going to have to sample it and just see how it is, even though I've eaten Raising Canes before. If you've never eaten Raising Canes, you got to find one. Yeah, and don't chintz on the cane sauce. It is unbelievable. And if you're ever in New York City, their flagships in Times Square, which I only learned this summer, being a New York City guy, it's pretty amazing to me that I didn't know that. So naturally, I stopped by there when I was in the city this summer. But welcome aboard as a sponsor, Raising Cane. And I hope for as long as I live in this part of Connecticut that your Milford, Connecticut store is successful and remains open because I love your food. And I hate you because you're going to ruin my diet, but I love you because your food and your sauce is awesome. So, what in the world? UCLA football. Now, I am an SEC football fan. So, as Tim kind of pointed out this weekend, as Alabama was beating up on Wisconsin, um, this conference realignment has really helped the game in some respects because you're seeing more marquee matchups. But now I'm a football snob because I'm an SEC fan. And to me, I'm not a fan of a particular school. So, yeah, I make fun of Wisconsin, Alabama beat them, but they should. They're in the SEC. To me, the SEC belongs in their own class of football. That's just my own opinion. But you have UCLA was a big part of the reason why the Pac-10 was blown up and essentially doesn't exist anymore. And they are so bad at football right now. I mean, Tim, I can't even make fun of Wisconsin. UCLA is so bad. There's Wisconsin bad, but then there's UCLA bad. Wow. But here's the issue. So they joined the new conference. It's a competitive conference. It's a competitive schedule. Now they lost Nevada, teams that if you're in the Big Ten, you shouldn't lose to. But here's how inept, and I rarely use a strong insult about anyone, but here is how inept UCLA is with their football. Now, follow the chain here. You have a rule that if a school fires the coach, every player on that football team is automatically allowed to enter a transfer portal for 30 days. Okay, a rule I don't like, but it's in there. I don't like transfer portal at all. UCLA, that's rule number one. Rule number two, you can play up to 4 games of college football and still be considered a redshirt. That's a rule I really don't like. All right? So you have 2 rules here. You fire a coach, you go in the transfer portal automatically. And you could play up to 4 games and still be considered a redshirt. It means you could play 4 games without losing a year of eligibility. Got it. So logic, simple, basic, fundamental logic would dictate. If you're going to fire your coach in season, you wait to game 5. So that way, the players who are on your team have a reason to continue playing because they're going to use a season of eligibility anyway. What did UCLA do? Number one, they helped blow up the Pac-10 or Pac-12, whatever that conference was called. It's not the SEC, so I don't even know these things. A conference that they were pretty competitive in and had some success in. They joined the Big Ten, and now they're just god-awful. That's one. Big mistake, number one. Number two, fired the coach mid-season. Now, they lost to Nevada. They lost to some other teams I don't think that were that great. Okay. Not everyone could win, right, Tim? Wisconsin. Right now, every team can win every game or any game, or some games even. Sorry, Tim. But number 3, they fired this coach after the 3rd game of the season. So what? Like, literally, what in the world UCLA football? I understand the need to fire a coach that's 0-3 and only won like a few games last year. Obviously, the program is heading in the wrong direction. There are photographs of their stadium for home games. It looks like 50 people there. Like, no, like there's more people in the band than there to watch the game. So I understand change is imminent. Change must come. Totally get it. I'm on board with that. But why don't you wait until game 5 so your whole team doesn't now enter the transfer portal, which is probably happening as I'm recording the show? Explain that one to me. Riddle me that one, Batman. It makes no sense. Now, granted, the team isn't any good, so I don't think you're exactly going to have half of Division One or 3/4 of Division One lined up to get these kids anyway. But there's got to be some talent there. It's a Big Ten football team. And you could have a lower Big Ten team like a Wisconsin or a mid-major out there saying, you're at a team that hasn't won a game. You're at a school, fired a coach. You're in a conference that you probably shouldn't be in. Come play for me, even a mid-major, and win some games. Get to a bowl game. Actually win. Actually play for a coach that's stable. So, like, UCLA literally invited their entire team to leave without any penalty whatsoever because they couldn't wait 2 more weeks to fire their coach. Someone at the top made that decision. Are things at UCLA that bad that they couldn't wait for game 5 to make a coaching change? So now they literally risk losing every single player on their roster. What does that tell me? Their football problems at UCLA are not just a coaching issue. There are people making decisions at UCLA that just don't understand what to do in general. As a former college athletic director, I'm saying, what in the world, UCLA? Because as much as I do not have the requisite skill set to run a Division I athletic department, I have enough basic common sense to know that they made a really big, giant, bonehead decision. It was dumb enough to blow up the Pac-10 or Pac-12, whatever it was called. It was not a wise decision to join the Big Ten. Okay, but you have a team that is currently functioning. You have a team that is currently competing, we'll call it that. And what you just did was you literally invited the program to shut itself down. For what? You're not going anywhere this season anyway. Had you waited till you're 0-4 and 0-5, change coaches then, the end result's going to be the same. Now, whoever's taken over this program is going to have to start from scratch, which may not be a bad thing long term, but short term, what are you looking at? There is an argument that UCLA may not be able to finish the season if enough of their players enter transfer portal. And quite frankly, if I have any talent, a modicum of talent, and I'm at UCLA, I'm out. I don't burn a season of eligibility. This place is falling apart. The program's kind of a joke. They fired the coach. I played my three games. I got some film. I did some good things. I might as well enter transfer portal right now and get a better NIL deal. Oh my goodness, UCLA football. What did you do? So it's not just the coach that needs to go. Someone who's making decisions there needs to go with him. And that's it for the latest spin this week. Always great fun. And as always, how do I get involved with the coolest thing I'm ever going to do? There's only one way. Go to studentathleteworld.com. Complete your application, interview with me, pack your bags. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week.